zero.
We make everything look good, including being overweight. So, scientifically, you cannot drink alkaline water and it makes your cells alkalytic.
The closer you are to nature, the healthier you'll be.
Hello, hello, and happy Saturday. I am Carolyn Gentle, and you are in the Mind of Nature, hosted by Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist. As you are coming in, please go ahead and share the live. We are live today. Go ahead and share the live. Drop comments. Let us know that you are in the building and you are here, and we will shout you out as much as possible. So, please go ahead and if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Dr. Farid Zarif is the YouTube channel. We have a lot of great information. We are talking all about probiotics today. We're talking about women's probiotics, the best probiotics for women, probiotics for men, and also red flags, probiotic red flags. Ooh, that was a lot of probiotics, but you guys get it, right? The show is about probiotics today. Dr. Zarif, go ahead and join me here on stage so we can get started. Hello, hello. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning. I am doing great. It's good to see you, and we're ready to roll this morning as usual.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we know that we're definitely talking about probiotics too. Um, yeah, we're going to talk about. I would like to everybody to first of all say thank you for joining us today. Let's go over some things that we've talked about before, but things that are going to enhance the knowledge that you already may have about pro and prebiotics. So we're going to talk about both of those. Let's go right into it, okay? Here we go. The first thing that I want to do is to talk about the difference between the two, prebiotics and probiotics. Now, before discussing these supplements, it's good to note that you can get plenty of prebiotics and probiotics right from your pantry or your fridge, and this is the best way to build up your gut army. And is this is a way to do that is to simply just adjust your diet accordingly. So your eating habits, the way that you eat, your eating lifestyle could make a real big difference in the functionality of the different processes that our body goes through in breaking down food. Now, if you're looking at more than probiotics through your diet, uh, and if you want to know how do you get them, there's just simply just getting more familiar with fermented foods. And these fermented foods are foods that usually people say, "Oh, that's bad, throw it out," or it's going is stale, or other ways that they express that. There are two different most important, uh, I would say, bacterium that will help you to stay like aligned with choosing the kinds of food that's going to help you with your prebiotic and probiotic rich foods. Let's start with yogurt. Yogurt contains the lactobacillus or bacillus or the bifidobacterium strains. So the lactobacillus and the bifidobacteria strains are very important. Why? Because when you read the label, you want to make sure that these are some of the one of these probiotics in the particular formula that you choose. Then there's kombucha. Now, kombucha is a fermented tea. However, kombucha uh, is made today. Some drinks are made with carbonic acid, which makes it taste like more like a soda than it does a healthy drink, and different sweeteners. So, kombuchas today, when they're made commercially, you may end up coming up with um, a real high fizzle, and too much, and it could be harmful after drinking this over and over, which is easy to do, especially going through one summer where you can have an assault on your digestive system. So keep that in mind. The fermentation of tea, called the kombucha, which is very widespread now. It was is new, it's trended, and still somewhat trending. But this is something that some people make at home on their own, and the kombucha uh, teas are known to enhance or to improve our probiotics. Uh, okay, so let's go on to tempeh. Now, tempeh, especially when it comes to Asian people, or especially Koreans, they have different plates that or cuisine. Their cuisine includes fermented soybeans. Sauerkraut is a fermented cabbage, and that is very good also for your probiotics. As for the prebiotics, you can add like your fiber rich foods, like your fruit and vegetables, and your whole grains, potatoes, ideally boiled and cooked, boiled and cooled. You let it cool off as a starch is more resistant to digestion. And bananas, for instance, green, less ripe bananas are rich in resistant starch. Resistant starch is another name for a prebiotic. So these prebiotics, again, I'm going to keep going over this so that you can just feed it to yourself so that you'll have a better idea of what we're talking about. But prebiotics are also in Jerusalem artichokes, for instance. It's a root vegetable that is rich in inulin, and inulin is a prebiotic. Okay, so I know we just got started in here, but I'm going to stop and go right back to care so we can get some feedback. And we want to keep everybody in. We want you to leave your messages while we're sharing and hear what you have to say and lend your participation. Okay, so let's go back to care.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Just starting off, already getting the information about prebiotics and the kombucha. But I'll just go ahead and shout some people out right now, just so we can say hello to everyone, let you know we are live. It's not a recording, we are live. Hey, Shirley, Gentle, Smart, hello, hello. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. Uh, Allison Gentle, hi, Dad. Thank you so much for dropping by, saying hello to family and friends. Yolanda Rogers, what up, though, from Dearborn, Michigan. Hey, Yolanda, thank you so much for joining us. And anyone else that's coming in, please go ahead and share the live so we can have others be a part of the conversation. We always appreciate everyone that stops by, drops comments, and so forth. So, Dr. Zarif, you mentioned kombucha.
Yes.
Now, I know that I've heard different things when it comes to kombucha and it having alcohol in it. Is it when it's fermented? uh, Depending on the fermentation, is that what causes the alcohol, or how does that happen?
Yes, that's done through a process. It takes usually when you make it at home, it takes a longer time to ferment. And as you know, the fermentation is a process in wine. It is a process also in beer. And these are ways to accumulate, depending on the aging process, alcohol. And that alcohol is, of course, if you're drinking high amounts, and kombucha is a very low amount, but it is a concern for those that are alcohol sensitive.
Hmm.
You may want to avoid that. So that's a really great point.
Right, yes, because
Did
I
you put
know
up your hand?
I did when you said alcohol sensitive because I'll be in at work, drinking some kombucha, thinking I'm working on my probiotics, and here I am stumbling, and they
Right.
calling me in the office. So it's just good to know about these things. When you when you say I'm working on my gut health.
Right, right. I hear you. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Right.
Very good point. Yeah, yeah. It's good to know to be aware of the foods that we eat and we drink. Is just is something that if it doesn't um, it kind of plays with your mind. I give you an example. For instance, one time I was rushing through Trader Joe's, and I liked they used to have vanilla frozen dessert there, and
Hmm.
it was made, it was soy based or rice based. One I think is soy based, but delicious. And I was rushing, I got made a mistake, and instead of a pint of the frozen dessert, the vegan frozen dessert, end up getting the regular, and it said things like natural, delicious, real vanilla. I got everything except I didn't realize that this is ice cream.
Yes.
So I went home and I opened it, still didn't read it, opened it, not because I couldn't wait to get to the ice cream. Bam! It was delicious.
Yes.
And I was like, oh man, this can't be this good. I mean, this is me talking. And I said, and I tasted it again. I said, do you know that in that moment, I just said, when I said it can't be good, I'm like, I don't even want to read this because
Yeah.
I don't want to stop eating. It's so good because fat makes food taste good, and if you have that salt, fat, and oil, or SOS, the sugar, the oil, and the salt
Hmm.
in that's the whole package. And oh man, so anyway, I can really sympathize with people and empathize with people that are fighting, struggling, that are being challenged. You like a certain thing, and a lot of times you don't want to hear anything about what you can't eat and that is bad for you because it's so doggone good. You're like, nah, I'll go ahead and get one more. I don't put it up. I won't eat any more. And it goes back in the freezer, or you'll be back. So,
Right.
uh, yeah, it's one of those things. So, those of you that are just joining us and have been here before, look, there is no one here, and that's me or Carolyn, that doesn't understand how difficult it is to eat the foods that keep you healthy. But I'll say this right fast, that when you do think of the things that you learn about yourself and how wonderful it is to be healthy, and that every day and every moment is affected by the way that you feel, then you will start looking at it differently. Because I'm telling you, there is nothing great about being in the hospital. There's nothing great about being in the hospice, or there's nothing great about having to have palliative care. It's really important that you take care of yourself the natural way, if you will. The closer you are to nature, the happier you'll be.
The healthier too.
Dear. Yeah, that's right. So it's really that's really important. Okay. So I just wanted to share that because ain't nobody perfect up here,
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. We're perfect in ways. I won't get philosophical on you, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying that everybody has their challenge. Okay. And we're here to help you with the challenge. So let's get back to women's probiotics. I want to talk about this a little bit because the women's probiotics, this one size does not always fit all, especially when it comes to probiotics for women. Now, women know that their bodies are complex and they require a more targeted approach to address their specific concerns, such as menopause symptoms, hormonal balance, healthy weight management, vaginal health, and fighting candida overgrowth or excessive bloating and UTIs. There's a list of things when it comes to women's probiotics. But just like Stomach has both good and bad bacteria. So does the vaginal and urinary tract. Now, that's why it's critical for you to find an effective probiotic that not only helps to support proper digestion health, but it also has the right kind of probiotics and other key ingredients to support your urogenital, urogenital and your vaginal health too. So you can get more information about that when you have a urologist, a person that specializes in it. Again, stop treating your doctors like they know everything. Ask a question, and if they're not clear on it, have them suggest. A good doctor will actually say, "Here, that's beyond my scope. I'm going to send you over to Doctor So and So. He's going to be able to help you, or she'll be able to help you with that." And that's she's an excellent urologist and so forth. Okay, a quick search on the web also, or any stores aisles that leads to an endless probiotic brands. They're all claiming to cater to women, but most of these places, most of these claims, they actually miss the mark, and some boast high on culture counts without the strains beneficial for women's health. They kind of like put together this particular formula without any kind of concern whether or not it also addresses women's health, while others may not survive the journey of the vaginal tract. And then there are those that, despite their claims, lack the vigorous scientific backing and the quality control to truly stand out. So we need you to do your due diligence. And as I continue on, you'll see exactly what I mean. So, how to select a good probiotic may be a good place to start, especially the probiotic supplement, so you can avoid the junk. And there's a lot of junk out there because a lot of people have money, deep, deep pockets. And when new stuff comes out, they're not really concerned for deep research. They just know whatever the streets are saying. If they say that this particular medication works, or this particular cold medicine, for instance, or a certain drink, all of these things you have to take into consideration what people are saying in general. The people's court, as it's called. Now, ladies, the good news is that we have compiled months of research about the vital probiotic strains shown in studies to offer real benefits specifically for women. And we also figured out which herbs and botanicals are essential for both vaginal pH balance and the various stages. Now, for the perimenopause or the menopause, um, whether you are a busy mom or you're a busy grandmother, enjoying your grandkids, there is a career woman also in this list. And anyway, people that do a little bit of everything, because it's you almost can't divide that in a very gender specific way, because we a lot of times we do the same things. Okay, let's go ahead and change that. Okay, so the things that thank you, Kara. Yeah. So anyway, a short guide will help you to know what to look for and to avoid, so that you can make an informed decision. And this is really important. So let's go ahead and look at some of the things that um, uh, about the probiotics that you need to know about. Okay, so within the stomach is an impressive world of known microbiomes, uh, and with thousands of different types of bacteria, fungi, and even viruses. This is where your immune system comes in, but it also works synergistically with probiotics. While some bacteria can offer significant health benefits, others can be harmful, but they work together. That's how you get the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. These different types of probiotics are living microorganisms that act as they reinforce to support a healthy microbiome balance. And that's in everything. We want to have that balance. And you probably heard of that probiotics are helpful for digestive health, but they also play an essential role in the immune system, the mental health, and notably women's specific health needs. And you will hear people just say, just lady problems, lady stuff. Okay, but the probiotics plays a huge part in the comforts of the menstrual cycles to significant changes of the perimenopause and menopause. The probiotics they offer targeted support where it's most needed. And then they can help you in managing some of the symptoms, such as the urinary tract infections, the UTIs, candida overgrowth. Another name for that is yeast infections. Otherwise, there's also other vaginal health issues, such as bacterial vaginosis, you might have heard BV, and the right kind of probiotic strains. This is where it's important in the combination with crucial herbs and minerals can also aid in nutrient absorption, which is vital for energy and overall vitality. And they can also play a role in bone density. Most people don't feel this until they get older, like a little older than 50 or 60 years old, especially in women. For like osteomalacia, osteoporosis. These are some of the different diseases that sometimes are very difficult to restabilize after your bones density is compromised. Also, your weight management. So, along with nutrient absorption and energy, there's weight management, which can be a concern for many women as they age and undergo some of the hormonal changes. So, all of that, as beautiful as women are, and we know that the world wouldn't be the world without the women in the world. And that includes our mothers, our grandmothers, our children, our wives. All of those things are very, very important. I wanted to also share with you that there's three things that are important when buying women's probiotics. One is that you want to look at the limited strain variety. Now, variety is crucial in probiotic supplements for addressing women's health concerns. A product with only one or two strains might not cover the broad spectrum that benefits your body's needs. Now, to support proper microbiome balance, avoid formulas that don't offer at least 16 different strains. Get it? So 16 different strains. I'm going to go over some of those before we leave today. But keep that in mind. Read. If it only has like 10 strains, you don't want to, it is not sufficient. You want to at least have 16 strains that are working together. Number two, the lack of supporting ingredients. For a woman's probiotic to truly be a well-rounded formula, it must have additional ingredients beyond just probiotics to support your unique health needs. Avoid the formulas that don't include ingredients such as cranberry and D-mannose. You might see that that is a type of, you can tell that that's a type of sweetener because you have the OSE at the end of it, OS, which have both of these, the cranberry and the D-mannose, have urinary and bone health benefits. So keep that in mind. And there's one more, and I want to talk about the plastic bottles. Moisture vapor transmission rate. So the MVTR studies on probiotics packaged in plastic bottles, such as those that are shown that can allow too much moisture to enter, causing lower strain uh, survival rates and a shorter shelf life overall. So the moisture vapor transmission rate, these studies on the probiotics that are packaged in the plastic bottles have shown that they can allow too much moisture to enter, causing the lower strain survival rates and a shorter shelf life overall. I just wanted to go over that twice because it's just, I don't want it to sound just like mumbo jumbo. It's important that you know, even after food is packed, if it's packed for so long and has a shorter shelf life, or if there is the seeping of air causing perhaps precipitation. It can cause a build up of the bad bacteria. So don't throw away your hard earned money on these probiotics in these cheap plastic bottles. Cheap plastic bottles that I'm talking about are um, like they have, like for instance, you look at the bottled water that we have. A lot of it is so cheap you can touch it and it crinkles up, and a lot of times it isn't securely packed. So again, you don't want to throw your money away on those kind of things that can allow harmful elements that uh, enter during the storage and the shipping, risking your probiotics arriving dead right there on the doorstep. So that is really important that you understand that probiotics are made up of many types of probiotics that work together, good and bad, or healthy, or I don't want to say unhealthy, because when it really gets down to it, we need the bacteria. The bad bacteria works with the good bacteria. So it is just to differentiate the differences in the bacteria. Okay, I'm going to go back to care at this time. I want to personally say thank you to all those people that we have here today, and those people that are joining us on other platforms. If we have any problems with this platform, just simply go to our YouTube, Dr. Farid Zarif station, and we are also live there. Okay. All right. We're going to bring Care back. Oh, yeah. And I think the nurse Shirley is here today. I'm so very thankful she's here. She's as busy as her schedule is incredible, but to make time to come through, and I want to all my cheer and Thanksgiving goes out to all of you that are here today that made it happen. Okay, we're gonna bring Carolyn back up. Carolyn, what you got for us?
I am here, and thank you so much. I just wanted to shout out Denise Kane. Hello.
Denise?
Hi, Denise. Great to see you here. And Daphne Smith. Hi, Mom. I love you. I love you. I just got to shout it out. Whenever you put it in the comments, I do my best to say hello to you. But yes, of course, hello to everyone else that's joining as well. Thank you so much. Dr. Zarif, I'm here, and I know you said you'll go over it again, but I got my handy dandy notebook, like on Blue's Clues, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so you mentioned that 1 to 2 strains, no good. You have to have at least 15 different strains of probiotic in your supplement for it to be good.
No, it's at least 16.
At least 16.
At
Okay.
least 16. And I don't understand what you said. 1 to 2.
When you say the probiotics has 1 to 2 strains, you need more than that
Oh,
in your probiotic for it to be considered good. Maybe I'm, go ahead.
yeah, it's just I understand what you did. I talked about two just naming two probiotics to make sure that the lactose bacillus is there and the bifido bacterium is in. Those are two major or primary healthy bacteria that should be included in the batch of bacteria, and that batch should be over 16 different types of strains.
Okay. Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. Great.
Yes. I mean, great information. It's whenever it comes to probiotics and prebiotics, I know that's always a hot topic.
Yes.
Um, and everyone wants to know, well, what's good, what's bad, what's needed. So I'm in that number as far as making sure I have the right ones and have knowledge about it.
Beautiful. I think that's great. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, why don't we continue on and I'll go into some of the probiotic strains that are best for women. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the many types of, and I'm just going to put this up right now with the food there because this is where you get many of the strains of probiotic strains. Specific for women's health. Still, the primary strains that are used are um, in different formulas, like the L. Salivarius, the L. Salivarius, and the L. Uh, Rotary, and you also have other ones, but the Salivarius and the Rotary are two different. Uh, they're actually no different than those found in any of the general probiotic supplement. So you will hear the reason it sounds so weird, and I've sounded out because we're not used to saying that. So Cella varius and L. Reuteri, these are two pretty much basic probiotics. To find. Before I continue, I would just want to say, congratulations to Miss Gento. She has been really, really a wonderful example of keeping her fitness in mind and staying very sharp, staying focused, and I just want to say thank you. You know what I'm talking about, so that's the main thing. So I want to let's go on to some more probiotics here. This is really important. You want to look these up, and if I can here, what can I do? I just want to go. I want to actually bring these up. There we go. Okay, this is so you can write these down here. The lactobacillus, and this is rhamnosus. Rhamnosus. So you just if you lactobacillus rhamnosus is the healthy weight support. This is really important, especially if a person is going over some or challenged with some kind of weight loss challenges, a 12-week randomized, double-blind, placebo controlled study for 152 overweight adults concluded that the L-rhamnosus supports healthy weight management. So you want to see this. So you want to see the lactobacillus. Now, some of these are names that are, well, I'll let you find on your own due diligence, but you'll see why some of these are so called good bacteria and bad bacteria. Uh, and some bacteria you don't want in your body at all. The study also showed that the strain helped to decrease binge eating tendencies. You know, when some people do a great job in exercising and getting a little, their weight down, but something happens when they are faced with that day and that craving that seems to be unstoppable, and they have a tendency to binge, to overeat, to glut. And if you're one of those persons, there are experts that can help you with these eating disorders. And you can work together with people that understand that challenge. Don't be shy. Speak up if you need help. Look, I need help with this. You know, talk to your cousin or talk to your other loved ones or talk to really close friends. Not the kind of friend that tells all of your business, but the kind of friend that can keep that to themselves and work with you in a very private manner. Now, there is also mood and anxiety lowers the lactobacillus. Also, it lowers the anxiety, reduces stress, and it boosts the moods by changing the expression of the chemical messenger. Um, and the chemical messenger GABA, which communicates with the brain and it produces a calming effect. Same thing as we talk about when we talk about parasympathetic nervous system relaxing. If you're all day long in fight or flight, eventually you're going to wear and tear. Your system is quite injurious to your system because, again, remember there's two types of stress. There is the distress and there is the eustress. Distress is when you are under a lot of pressure. It's all called duress. You're under a lot of pressure, and these are things that keep your body tight and you're not relaxed. And then you have eustress, and eustress is actually the stress that when you have too much of a good thing. You know, if you're too happy, or you might be, if you get a car, and it doesn't have to be a brand new car, but you got a car that you can depend on, and you're really happy about it, and that usually lasts for a few hours at the most. But if you're going into days and weeks on and on and on, I'm not talking about just showing appreciation, but overdoing it. You're happy, 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 happy. And the same thing about, like, if you got a $5,000 check that showed up and you're like, oh, you're so happy, but you're happy even after you spent the money, you're still happy. Do you know that is called, that's eustress, and you can overdo it with the eustress, and it can become deleterious instead of helpful. A separate study over 24 weeks found that the rhamnosus had more of an impact on women compared to men. And when it came to weight management, the men were getting better results than women. But again, rhamnosus, or the lactobacillus rhamnosus, is one of what is called a good bacteria. Then again, back to the it lowers anxiety and reduces the stress and boosts the mood. And all of this is very important when we're looking for the right probiotics. The other probiotic, you might have heard of this before, and Lactobacillus acidophilus. And this is when you find this is like in milk, dairy products, cheese. You might find this. Now, the bacterial vaginosis protection, that's what one of the things that come to mind right away, and that's the BV. And this is the acidophilus has extensively studied for a role in producing high lactic acid. Now, lactic acid, this again, it sounds like lactose, and is usually what? From cow's milk. So now you start making these connections, and you might start questioning why you're drinking or eating certain foods, especially when they're connected to other things. So you will make these different connections here. Promoting the acidic environment in the vagina necessary to keep proper balance or bacterial balance, and is helping to avoid the harmful condition known as bacterial vaginosis. Now, urinary tract infections, also UTIs, are pretty common. E. coli is one of the most common bacterial causes of a UTI, the urinary tract infections. The Lactobacillus acidophilus has been shown to prevent the growth of bacteria to provide support to prevent the UTIs. Now, the candida, which we usually hear much about, and that is the overgrowth of bacteria. Well, this is what the lactobacillus acidophilus does: is it actually reduces the risk of yeast infections by helping inhibit the growth or the harmful bacteria, which is Candida albicans, the most common cause of genital yeast infections. So that is another one. There is another one that people are more and more getting hip to, and it's the Bifidobacterium lactis. And this particular probiotic, it helps to fight against abdominal fat, the estrogen and the progesterone levels decrease as women age, affecting the metabolism. Now, these hormonal changes can lead to a loss of muscle mass and increased belly fat. Studies have shown that the Bifidobacterium lactis can help manage weight, and it can reduce visceral fat. Okay, and then my advice is that, and my research has revealed that most companies include generic Bifidobacterium lactis strains in their formulas, while premium brands use Bifidobacterium analysis rather, and that is also, you see the SP stands for subspecies lactis B420. All of that is to identify the bifidobacterium. If this is becoming too much for you, just keep on playing it over and over. And if you get it little by little, it really works for you very well. Don't worry about gulping everything all up at one time, because there's so much that we're learning. When I say us, I'm talking about those students of the different sciences that some like when it comes to any types of the probiotics or prebiotics or any of the other different substances that we can eat or use in our food or in our drinks. We want to know about those, because what happens is it allows us to be pro active, and in that proactivity we can avoid many of the diseases that are found in these controlled trials. Other studies have shown that this strain to support the reduction of fatty tissue and improve the metabolism. And that's one thing that we hear constantly. We do want to improve metabolism because it is something that we find that we can avoid being sick. And if you can reduce the risk of being sick, why not? Yeah, it's very important to make that change. Okay, let's go right here next to the Lactobacillus gasseri. And now the Lactobacillus gasseri, again, we talked about metabolism, and this is where this comes in. A review of over a dozen human randomized controlled trials concluded that the L-gasseri supports healthy weight management. Now, I know some people say, no, I'm going to Ozempic, I'm going to this and that, because that's what's trending today. But as remember Fin and Redux, everybody was running to that too. But they found out as the years went by that it was causing the different mitral valve prolapses. And that is something I want you to keep in mind. Just because it's new doesn't mean that is automatically safe. Okay. All right. So we are talking about that the different things that we can expect when it comes to our probiotics. I think I got everything. I'm going to go. The lactobacillus gasseri is another um, study that shows this particular strain helps the reduction of fatty tissue, and it helps to improve metabolism and bone density. Again, I know that some of you are too young to even contemplate this, because it's like you don't really see this in younger people. But when you're 40, I'm telling you, 40 and over, then you start seeing things start changing, things start functioning differently. Something that you used to secrete a lot of has reduced, or excreted. Your excretion or bowel movement regulation changes, the amount of food changes, all of these changes. But the lactobacillus gasseri is really important for increasing the bone mineral density and also lowering your pain sensitivity. So these are some of the things that we want to share with you today, and suggest for you to go ahead and move right on it. Get as much as you can. I'm going to go and look over here and see if there were any questions. Care? Let's go over to the questions.
All right. Let's see. No questions, just more hellos. Hellos from MJ Love saying Grand Rising from Vegas. Hello. Thank you so much for
Hey.
tuning in today. Really do appreciate it. Elisa Palmer. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Thank you again so much for joining us here. And Yolanda saying class is in session. I'm here for it, Dr. Z. Yes, class is in session. Like I mentioned before, I got my handy dandy notebook taking my notes. And like Dr. Zarif mentioned, please go ahead and rewind. You can always rewind, of course, when we're done, or you can actually rewind now, which is, anyways, you can rewind and take your notes, because it is a lot of information, but it's great information for you to know and to hold on to. So,
I wanted to, if I could, just squeeze this in, because I've been talking about a lot of the probiotics that help women. I know guys are saying, "What about us?" Okay, all right. So, Mr. Gentle, I know for the other guys here, this is for us. Okay, so the Bacillus subtilis is called Bacillus subtilis, is naturally found in soil and compost. Now, the Bacillus subtilis is a safe species of spore forming bacteria, and is found to survive for about 6 years on the NASA space satellites. So this is one that they're using on satellites, and it can survive dryness and acidity, making them ideal probiotics. Taken as a supplement, they can remain dormant throughout the digestive tract until they reach the colon, where they help normalize bowel movement and protect the gut blood barrier. So this is something really great. The studies have also shown that Bacillus subtilis helps promote the positive balance and the good to bad bacteria in the gut by supporting the lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium while suppressing the Escherichia, Shigella, and the Staphylococcus. Now, the Escherichia is just another name for the E. coli. So you might see that every once in a while. So again, don't be afraid of the words. Get right into it. Make your different, just say them, sound them out, or just go on the talking dictionary and it'll sound it out, pronounce it for you. Now let's look at again the Bacillus coagulans. The Bacillus coagulans, because of their nature, there is a natural defense mechanism that ensures their survival throughout the gastric tract. And these smart cultures can provide the comprehensive probiotic support in doses a fraction of the size of traditional biotics or the probiotics, minimizing any of the potential side effects for the sensitive stomachs. And a lot of us do have sensitive stomachs, especially those of you that have been sick before. It's very easy for that to happen. And lastly, I'm gonna give you one more, men. These a spore forming probiotic strain, and it is called Bacillus clausii. And Bacillus clausii is not one that you will hear a lot, but it is definitely a probiotic like the lactobacillus and the bifidobacterium that will perish after only 30 minutes. It can also be, I know, like confusing now, because if you buy these, when you're buying these drinks, many of these particular bacterium can definitely be destroyed by the shelf life, by heat. If they usually are in carts, but if the light, sometimes they are light sensitive and it can destroy the benefits of the probiotics. Okay, so lastly, I think where they help. They can help strengthen the lining of the colon against the harmful microbes, and they can fight pathogenic bacteria and viruses, and they can protect against loose stools and bloat. So there you go. These are some of the things that will help your bowel movement, that help you to regulate your bowel movement, and this is super important. Lastly, I want to go over right fast some of the red flags. Let me see, pull out something here. And now, as far as the red flags, the lack of clinical studies would be one of them. Making sure that you understand the highest indicator of quality in the supplement, and it is, and you should do a little more reading on this. It is actually a placebo controlled. These placebo controlled clinical studies are for the safety and the effectiveness by an independent third party. And usually this goes on, not a lot, but people pay money just to get the evidence, which is truly the science. So that's one of the red flags. Make sure that you have you realize that if the probiotic supplement doesn't, if it has to have a lot of abundance of clinical studies, not just one or two. Another is the traditional probiotic cultures. Understand the large number of different bacteria cultures. And believe me, there are many, many of them. You'll see when you look at the probiotic ingredients. Now, there, lastly, the unproven. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, oh yeah. Did you get the? I thought that was up. That's do you see it now? Oh yeah, yeah. That's what. That's it. Okay. Hmm. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on as we the unproven bacteria strains, and that's the third one. So we talked about at the very beginning the lack of clinical studies. The second one is the traditional probiotic cultures, knowing the names of them and what they do, and then to the unproven bacteria strains. Okay, that's very all of these are very important. The unproven bacteria strains can produce a gastrointestinal distress, so it's good to know exactly the difference between some of the common strains and the exotic strains with questionable uh, reputations. And you will see a lot of that because once it goes commercial, is huge, and millions and millions of the product, like in the drinks are spread all over the world. So there you have it. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here today. We'll go back to Carolyn.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. Just want to a couple of things here. Have one from Yolanda saying, "Glad you brought that up. I'm not into trends. Did my 90 plus weight loss the natural way. Exercise and healthy eating. Diabetic free 6 years. Woo 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 woo." And I'm sure you were talking about when you mentioned Ozempic. So, that's always great news. Love to hear about your journey and your weight loss and just what you're doing, Yolanda. So keep up the great work as always. And
Yes, indeed.
and there is a question here from, let's see, Jess144.
Okay.
Says, what strains are best after weeks of antibiotics
Yeah.
usage? I'm always hungry and I don't know why as well. Is this leaky gut?
Well, when you have like the leaky gut, as it were, the one of the very first things to do is start off with some of the um, foods like glucagons, which will be um, some of the nectars from peaches, pears, apples. That's in the morning. And then, the other things that we talked about, like the kefir, sauerkraut, the kimchi, all of those are different things that you can use. If your stomach has been very, very sensitive, and for instance, you're coming off of a operation or a certain, maybe a strict diet, remember, start ease into it. So a little bit of kimchi, taste it, get used to it, a little bit more the next time, and so forth. Other things like the drinks, kombucha, for instance, I wouldn't go into that until you strengthen your stomach because, again, it's very strong. It can cause flatulence and very uncomfortable gas, So it's very slow. You take your time with it. One of the you want to remember you have some of the different types of probiotics that are found in yogurt, for instance, but make sure that you know this, that the yogurt, if it isn't put into the yogurt, most likely yogurt is going to be more like a dessert. So when people are eating the yogurt and they're not checking, if they don't have, they don't give you uh, a list of more than six probiotics, you're just, it's just another form of a cold dessert.
Right. And I just want to add to it, for anyone with any of the information, make sure to do your research as well.
Yeah.
Dr. Zarif also, he has his one-on-ones that you can sign up for at drzarif.com. And he can definitely go more into it with anything that's specific to you. So anyone, always do your research, consult your PCP. And again, Dr. Zarif is there to assist one-on-one as well.
Thank you very much, Care.
You're
And
welcome.
I do want to again thank you. So many people I'm proud of. I just, my the star pupil for the day is Mrs. Gentle, because I'm just really proud of just such an incredible woman. And we've had great talks about health, and she follows them out well. And well, she'd always look great, but I just wanted to make sure I surprise her with that. And did you say my name? Yeah, so uh,
and,
I
and
just really appreciate that. Go ahead.
yes. Now I was just going to go back to another comment. Allison Gentle saying, "Thank you, Doctor Z. I'm taking in as much as I can and will work on it." That's my
Oh,
dad, not my
woo,
mom. Just
that's
so y'all.
beautiful.
But yay!
That's
I
the
mean,
man
it's
right there.
always yes, it's always great when we know that we are taking in that information and we're taking action. That's always been our key thing, is to not just listen and not just write it down, but take action on the information that's being shared, because
Yeah,
that's where we'll see the results. That's when we'll come back and we'll give the testimonies about losing 90 pounds and doing it naturally and exercising, doing those things like Yolanda is saying, and like the things that, you're telling us. So it's always just remember that, take action on it. What did Dr. Zaru say? Like anything beats a zero. Can't believe I forgot
yeah.
that, but you mentioned that anything beats a zero. So action, take action on those things. And that's what we want to hear, and come back and share the information with us. We love to hear it. We love the feedback, the comments, the shares. All of those things really are appreciated when you come back and you share those things with us. Huh? Dr. Zari, what you think?
Well, thank you so much. I want to go ahead and remind everybody about Mount Tabor coming up July the 5th at 9 a.m. From 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. We'll start off with nutrition. Those people, if you're really serious about it, and you want to learn more about your body, and you used to do it, but you don't do it anymore, whatever it is, for lose the excuse. Just lose that and let's get back on track with working out. Exercise is not something that everybody flocks to, but we make it as fun as we can. And yeah, we get a little sore sometimes. Yeah, we tax the muscles sometimes, but we have fun doing it. And believe me, everybody's body can feel better by doing some kind of exercise. It doesn't everybody have to do the same type. It can be dancing. It
Hmm.
can be you can people that dance, like, you notice that they come in all sizes, but most people look very fit. So get your dance on, walking, a bicycle. If you can't move your legs the way you want to, have somebody help you do it. Ask. You'd be surprised how many people would come to your aid if you ask. Just ask.
Yes.
So I want to just say that again. Remember, it is over at the Mount Tabor Missionary Baptist Church, and I want to give a shout out to all our people out at Mount Tabor. Just a really wonderful place. I really respect, especially churches that reach out into the community to help the community get healthier. That is incredible. And Mount Tabor does a lot of beautiful things over there, and for years and years. Every time I listen to their history, I'm like, wow, that's incredible. So, shout out to all the doctors, the nurses, all of the healthcare professionals that are here, and those who visit, and those who will become followers, so that we can continue helping as many people as we can. I'm Dr. Zarif, the nutritionist.